Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Liz, for TV8's Good Morning Vail, and I have a very special person sitting next to me on the sofa. This is a first responder that we all need and love in our community, and you guys take such great care of all of us. This is Hugh Fairfield Smith. How are you this morning?
Good, thank you.
And you're the Eagle River Fire Protection District.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I got that. It's a mouthful, but it's okay.
It is.
You don't just say fire department anymore. You have bigger, nicer, longer things. But first of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning. And I also want to thank you and everybody that you work with for your service and your bravery and all of the wonderful things that you do to take care of our community. I mean, it's a really crazy thing you guys do.
Oh, thank you.
You sign up for danger, but I know there's a lot of other things that you guys do also to keep us protected. I know one time I got wounded and you all showed up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're there for us for almost pretty much every aspect of life, and that's really important. And I want to get into a couple of things that we have coming up in the election, but first the reason I invited you guys here is because you have some mitigation projects that are ongoing but also coming up.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people aren't really sure what those are, and sometimes those controlled burns and things like this. A really quick, funny story. When we first moved out here, I'm from Florida, I had no idea, and we went to a park. Guess who called the fire department? Yeah. So, they came, they explained it to us, and I was like, oh, something new you learn every day.
Yeah.
But now I know a whole lot more after being here for 15 years, and I've just been seeing all the wonderful, kind things that you guys do for our community. So how do you let people understand what is the difference between a controlled burn and a burn that might be not necessarily there for good purposes?
Oh, absolutely. And I think maybe a little backstory, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Eagle River Fire Protection District is the parent agency and the coordinating agency for the Eagle Valley Wildland Program.
Nice.
And the Eagle Valley Wildland Program is a partnership between Eagle River Fire Protection District, Greater Eagle Fire Protection District, Gypsum Fire Protection District, and the county. And then that's blossomed into what we call stakeholders, and that includes all the metro districts and the towns. So town of Avon, town of Eagle, town of Gypsum, and Beaver Creek Metro and Cordillera Metro, and about 27 different stakeholders.
You cover the gamut.
We cover everything except for the town of Vail, and it's just that's their municipality, and we still work very closely together.
I was going to say, what happens if something happens? No, we don't cover that.
They still have a great wildland program, and
they're
very proactive. And but the Eagle Valley Wildland Program stretches across Eagle County. And so a lot of the projects that people might be seeing, some of those thinning areas or fuel breaks on ridge tops, well, that's in the name of wildland fire mitigation.
Oh, okay.
And what we're doing is trying to create a tactical advantage through creating healthy ecosystems.
Nice.
So a tactical advantage provides our firefighters with the best opportunity to protect homes and communities in a fast-moving wildfire event. And some of the byproducts of those wildland fire mitigation projects are slash piles that are created, which are, we basically build large campfires, right?
Nice.
And we have to the tune of about 10,000 piles throughout Eagle County.
Wow.
And so in the winter months, you'll see us coming out and burning those. So you might see some smoke in the air. And if you're not signed up for EC Alert, we strongly encourage people to sign up for EC Alert.
Yeah, now that's an app on the phone that's pretty easy to sign up,
Yep.
and it really does give you a nice heads up on things, and it just keeps us informed.
Yeah, and it's as simple as just Googling EC Alert Eagle County, and it takes you right to the portal, and you can sign up. And so then we send out alerts of, wildfire project happening, wildfire mitigation project. There'll be controlled burn in Beaver Creek, for example.
Okay.
Which tomorrow we might actually have a controlled burn in Beaver Creek where we're going to try and burn about 300 piles. And we'll be pushing pretty hard in Beaver Creek in front of Birds of Prey because we want to get all that cleaned up before the big ski race. So
yep, that comes on around December 3rd too.
Yep. So it's coming quick, and we got about 4,000 piles just on the mountain itself.
4,000 piles. Yeah. Wow, that just sounds like so much.
It is, and these things take a while, and we have to meet all these specifications to do controlled burns. And one of those is smoke ventilation. We want to make sure that the smoke gets up and out and does not impact the community, because the worst case scenario is we have smoke come into the valley and we just sock everybody in.
Yeah, and then the breathing and the health issues and everything like that. So how do you go about making sure that happens?
Well, we just have to wait for the perfect days, and usually it's like right in front of a snowstorm, or when it's snowing, you have good ventilation because there's wind, and it'll just push the smoke up and out.
Nice.
So it just depends, and so we're very constrained by the weather on
Yes.
how much we can burn and how often we can burn. Of course, we got to wait for there enough snow so that we don't have any issues surrounding, escape or anything like that.
So what are the, I know summertime, obviously, I mean, we can just spontaneously combust sometimes. It's just so hot. And people throw their cigarettes out the cars and little things like that, cars on the tires and things like that. So it seems like it's very easy to begin a fire in the hot time. What are the odds of having fires in the cold season here when it's winter and stuff like that?
Well, we're starting to see a trend, especially since 2018 and into 2020, where mid to late October actually really becomes fire season.
That's interesting.
And the Marshall Fire, that happened in mid-December, late December. And so what we're seeing in these colder times before the snow comes is we'll still have high winds, but the fuels, the vegetation, the grass, the brush, the trees, they're so dry because they're dormant.
They go dormant,
They've gone dormant. And we actually see sometimes some pretty big fires in October and November.
And you would think they'd be easily contained because it's cold out. Hey, throw some snow on it. That's not that easy.
Well, if there's snow on the ground, totally different story. But, right before the rain that's happening right now, we were at high fire danger.
Wow.
And we could have easily had a pretty fast-moving grass fire. So
people should know this because it's something that I always think, oh, we can relax a little bit, but really you have to be even more conscientious. Like you said, the trees are dried out, the leaves are all dry, falling on the ground. It can really catch quick, and everybody wants to go camping and start the little fires. And a lot of people don't understand this, that if you walk away from a fire at a campground and it's not out, it could be deadly.
Yeah, and we deal with those all summer long, us in the U.S. Forest Service, and it's an unattended campfire that people just don't put out. And that fire that happened earlier this summer in Leadville at Twin Lakes, that was from just that situation.
I know. It makes me mad because I can't even imagine what you guys think. You just want to shake people, right? And just say, come on, what's wrong with you? This is your beautiful place that you live. Don't do something stupid.
Yeah, and if it's in a ring, great, but a lot of times those rings are just rocks on top of vegetation.
Embers are everywhere.
So take the time and pour water on it and stir it around, and just make sure it's cold to the touch before you leave the campfire.
Very good idea. Make sure it's cold to the touch. Well, you'll know if it's not.
There's been times where we come up and the dirt is so hot that the dirt is boiling.
Wow.
It's been burning for that long, and it's just, you move it around and the dirt boils.
Fire is no joke, you guys. Now, we have a couple of minutes left to talk, and I want to bring up something really important. We think you guys are so important, and this is one of, I don't talk about voting much, but I'm definitely voting 6A. Can you explain to everybody what 6A is and why they should vote that for you guys? Because without it, we don't have all the resources that you all need.
Well, I'll just quickly explain why we did 6A. And so Eagle River Fire Protection's mill levy, the way that we receive tax revenue based on assessed property value.
Oh, okay.
That has been capped at the 2012 revenues, and that was by voter approval in 2012. And what we're seeing is through inflation and growth and all these other aspects that we have in the community, our revenues are not keeping up with the demand of the district.
Okay.
And, for example, a fire engine's gone up 50% cost, 30% cost in a lot of cases. And they're well over $1 million now for us to get some of the equipment that we need. And all these things are going up. So it's become more difficult for the fire district to maintain what we need to be able to get the tools and equipment that we need.
Okay.
So the Board of Directors for Eagle River Fire Protection District approved ballot language for a sales tax, which that just came out in Colorado law this year, that special districts can do a sales tax initiative.
Okay.
The sales tax initiative that you'll see if you live within Eagle River Fire Protection District is up to 0.79%. On $100 spent on sales tax, and that does not include groceries or medication or anything like that, you would pay 79 cents if that's what they choose. The last board meeting, there was talks of doing that much lower because we don't quite need that 0.79% yet.
Okay.
But it's for the longevity of the department. There is talk of fire stations being opened in Walcott and Eagle Vale with the growth that's happening. So the demand is high, and it's just a way for us to help maintain and get the equipment that we need at the fire district.
Well, that pretty much sums that up, and I think that it's very important for everybody to definitely vote yes on 6A. We need these guys and women. You all do such an amazing job for our community. We're very grateful to have you all, and we thank you so much, and thanks for getting up early and coming on in here this morning with me. You guys, this is Hugh Fairfield Smith with the Eagle County Fire Protection District, and you cover all of it, so I just want to remind everybody to be very grateful for our firefighters and everybody that takes care of us here. And you all are wonderful and amazing, and we really do thank you. And I just want to tell you that the entire community is grateful for all of you guys.
We appreciate the support, and it's a fantastic community.
Thank you so much. Vote 6A, everybody, when it's coming up. It's just around the corner. We'll be right back with more TV8 after this.
Good morning,